welcome to day 3 for you. For me, it's been like day I don't even know how many. But welcome to the 3rd day of 12 knits of Christmas. I never actually thought of like a proper intro for this, but I've got a lot to share. I don't know what happened. The day I ended my last video, that evening, I then knitted like mad on Tuesday as well. It's now Wednesday evening. We're heading to evening-ish. Pretty much lost the light already. And I kind of was like, I'm gonna film another little update right now because I've got so much progress. It's amazing. So you will have noticed probably that I've like interspersed like little clips of things I've been up to and things, and I'll always try and include like a little title description of what's going on so you actually have an idea, but in some ways it's also just, you know, nice festiveness for you to see. So let's get into progress. I have 2 finished objects. That means we're up to 4 now. Would have been good if I brought the rest of them with me. But last time I had the single Sunday sock for my aunt. I've now finished the second one. So that's another pair of Sunday socks done. And I don't have the other one done. Shouldn't have led with I have 2 finished objects and then presented the way I have. The Sunday socks for my cousin, which is the last pair I need to finish for that particular parcel going to Austria. I've started it. I've done the heel turn, and now I just need to pick up stitches, gusset decreases, and then the foot, which I could probably get done tonight and then start the second one tomorrow. My plan of like getting these sent out Thursday, not happening, but Saturday morning still seems likely, otherwise Monday morning, but I'm worried that's cutting it a bit close because from what I've heard, shipping even Germany to Austria still isn't, it's just not great. But yeah, so making progress on these. And I lied, I have 3 finished objects, but one of them is actually a bonus. Let's go with the bonus first. I had mentioned that the Sunday socks, one was for my grandma, one is for my aunt, one's for my cousin. My other cousin got Sunday socks last year, like her entire family did. So that's why I'm doing it for my other cousin. Then I'm knitting a pair, or I have knitted a pair for my aunt, because the other aunt took the pair of Sunday socks I'd originally made for my grandma. It's all good. No drama. It's fine. So I'm making another pair for my grandma. But I then kind of felt like really bad that this parcel would arrive and like my grandma was getting something again. My aunt was getting something. My other cousin was getting something. So I kind of thought I want to add something in for my aunt just because it caused a little bit of family drama. The whole like the socks being taken, given, we don't really know because, well, I wasn't there. But there was just a little bit of family drama because of it, family. And just to make sure that like it's fine, someone's getting the socks, someone's loving the socks, that's really what matters to me. And just to make sure that my aunt doesn't think I'm like mad or anything, I made her a little star. So it's just like a little Christmas ornament. I added in this little like, it's not an I-cord. What did I do? I think I just did, chained a couple of stitches with my crochet hook, just so you can hang it up. And the yarn I used is from Erika Night. Blue wool, I think it's called. It's BFL. It was one of the yarns that I swatched with for the Love Magic dress that didn't work out. And yeah, so that one's done and will get sent in the same parcel with a little note to my aunt just to make sure like it's all good. No problem. And then literally finished these last night. Wasn't meant to. I have like a little bit of a plan of when I'm trying to finish things by. And it wasn't planned for me to finish these. But then I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood. I'm just going to do it. Life's better when camping socks are done. So these are the socks for my mum. Not blocked yet, and they need it. But you'll be able to see the tent and the little, like, what are these called? Like a wayward marker, something like that. And the tree and the mountain's also on the tip of the sock. And this one has the little red caravan on it. Yeah. So I did use, can't remember, I think I mentioned this in the previous video. I used ladderback jacquard just because some of the floats would have just been way too long. So I used it occasionally with the trees, but it came in super handy, especially with the caravan. I used quite a few different places where I added that extra stitch in. I talked about it in a previous podcast episode, but you can also just Google the method. I'll probably try and leave a link to a video. Very handy. And yeah, same thing with this one. I used a couple of different ones as well, in both the main color and the contrast color, and you can sort of like see it through, but it's nowhere near as bad as when you try and catch a float. I think the ones you can see the worst are the ones where I tried to catch a float, because I was like, oh, for one row I won't set up a ladder back stitch, and that's what you get. So I'm hoping with blocking everything will kind of smooth out a bit more, but I'm still pretty happy with them as they are. So they're done, and I didn't think I'd get them done that quickly. I'm actually quite happy and impressed. They should fit. They're a little bit too big for me. My mum has like slightly wider and longer feet than me, so I think they'll be all good for her. The other thing to update you on is I've been making progress on my loose ski for my dad. So this is where we're at. I settled on Plötulopi held double. I did want to use it single because it's a bit thick and stiff, especially this folded brim here. But the gauge with a single strand of Plötulopi would have been too open, and I'm like, it is intended for cold weather. The annoying thing is my parents are currently in Oslo, and my dad could really use this now. And I'm like, well, at least now I know for future trips to Oslo, especially in winter, it's going to come in handy. So I'm almost at the point where I can start the actual like shaping for the hood. So this is just like the neck bit. I've got like 2 more centimeters, 3 more centimeters. It is quite long, but that way it kind of creates a lot of warmth here when you're wearing it, and I think that's quite important. So yeah, making progress on this and really enjoying it. Big needles. I'm using 5mm needles, which is the recommended needles. So I've mainly been working on that after finishing the camping socks, and still working on the Sunday socks. And I didn't bring, I'll share it another time. I've made more progress on my Hillesvåg Genza, but it's literally just a bit of the body. I say a bit, it's a couple of inches. But I think I'll show it off when I'm closer to finishing the body and maybe starting the colour work at the bottom, because I think that's more interesting. Though I might actually be doing a sleeve first. You'll see it at some point, I'm assuming, in this video. And the other thing I've been going back and forth on is one of my friends, I originally said in the first video that I wanted to make elf slippers for her. And then I can't remember if I talked about the change in that plan and was like, no, I think I'm also going to make her Sterntaler socks like for my other friend. And now I've kind of gone back to, no, maybe I will make the elf slippers. One, they're quicker, which isn't like the main reason. I don't mind spending the time on making like fingering weight socks. It's more, they're quicker because the yarn is thicker. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. You get to see the absolute chaos that is me. But thicker yarn means they'll be, sorry, I'm just like sorting out this yarn here. But thicker yarn means that they'll be warmer. And like I said, she's kind of cold a lot now. And it is currently summer there, so I'm not like pressured to try and get this done quickly. But then I'm like, but it could be nice because even, she lives in New Zealand. Like, it gets cold. Even in summer, it can get pretty chilly, especially inside the house. So it could still be nice to try and get this on sooner rather than later. and we haven't seen each other since 2019, like summer 2019, because of the pandemic. Plus it's really far, so we normally would see each other maybe every 2 years or something. And sorry, I really enjoy rocking on my chair, it's so nice. It's really annoying when I'm editing though, and I'm like, Nina, no one's gonna want to watch this. Wow, I'm getting sidetracked. But it would just be nice to send her something, because we haven't seen each other in so long, and there's a couple of things I've been working on for her and just haven't been finishing, because it's just, part of me is just a bit sad that I can't then give it to her, and sending it is so risky, it takes so long, it doesn't always arrive. And so I'm like, I think I will go for the elf slippers, and I really enjoyed making them. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And so that's why I've been tidying this yarn up. So these are both by Rauwerk. Switching between English and German, my brain can't handle it sometimes. And they're the two colours that I used for my Cindy's Choice socks by Isabel Kramer from 52 Weeks of Socks. And yeah, this is how much I have left, and I'm pretty sure it should be more than enough to make a pair of the slippers. Plus she has smaller feet than I do, so might do those soon and cast them on. And they were pretty quick last time. I was originally going to use the same yarn I used for mine, but I then kind of thought she's a little bit clumsy. And because they're superwash, they're a bit more slippery than this. And because this is non-superwash, they'll be warmer. And then it's also better with not having to wash them as often, because these you can just kind of hang out, and in windy Wellington, they'll get aired out really quickly and be ready to use again without having to wash them all the time. Superwash, it's a bit, you lose a lot of the good woolly properties. So it gets a little bit tricky to figure out, should you wash them, shouldn't you wash them? So I think I might go for this, and I can always change my mind if I start them soon and it just doesn't look right or doesn't feel right, then I can change it up and make something else. And that, I believe, is everything I need to update you on. The Sunday socks for my sister-in-law, or my brother's partner, let's just call her that, I haven't started yet, but they're a project I'm thinking about bringing with me to Dubai. Same thing with my brother's Christmas vest, because they're not going to be able to make it for Christmas. It's just, it rarely ever works out, because Christmas is just a hard time. They have a dog, finding a dog sitter is hard. But they might be visiting at some point early next year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to see them as well, but it means instead of sending something all the way to Australia, where I'm sending them a small parcel anyway with just some like Lebkuchen gingerbread and other more like traditional German / Austrian Christmas treats. And that it already said, like, apparently it's going to take a minimum of 40 days, if not longer, to arrive in Australia. So it's not going to arrive for Christmas unless you pay an absolute fortune for like premium shipping. Where I'm like, I can't. I sadly can't. But I'm like, I'll send that. But these things I think is better to hand it to them in person. So I'm going to take the socks to Dubai, take the vest to Dubai, and try and finish them there. It does mean that I'm not going to finish them before Christmas, but that's okay. If I can finish them before I leave, or ideally before these videos need to be done. So it might be that on the last day, which I think is the 6th of January, I might be all like, this is now, almost real time because I haven't been able to get anything done. So I'll take those two with me and then just leave them there along with the bow. And might also take the Sterntaler socks, my poet shawl. I'm hoping to get the Hillesvåg Genza done before I leave for Dubai. Like I said, I've got a plan, and if I can stick to the plan, then it's all going to be good. But it all could fall apart very easily especially because I typically make a plan, then I get super confident and like shoot ahead and like finish projects before I had planned them. And the reason I planned them the way I did is because I wanted to pace myself, but I get so excited and then I finish all these things and then I burn out really quickly. And then I don't knit as much in a day and then I fall behind. I'm a sprinter, what can I say? So I'm gonna keep working on the loose ski right now because I'm just really enjoying it, something a bit different. Keep working on the Sunday socks and also try and keep in mind I'm trying to get below 30 projects before the end of the year. So it's a lot, but I'm excited. I love knitting for other people. Yeah, I'm gonna have an evening of knitting. It is Wednesday, so I normally have D&D this evening. So we'll see if that happens. There's potential internet issues, but not for me, for one of the other people, our DM actually. So a very important person. And yeah, you'll see me soon and some other bits that I've been up to. And until then,